Alrighty, we are just seconds away from talking to actor-comedian Tom Green. Tom is doing stand-up at the Parlor Live in Bellevue, probably one of the better clubs in the whole country. He's there tonight and tomorrow night. For more info and information, visit parlorlive.com. Having said all that, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Green! Yay!
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good to be in Seattle. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
No sweat, dude. You are. We just added a segment after 9 o'clock. The show has been ending for the last several years at 9, and we just added a segment. And you're our first guest, so thanks for coming on board.
We shouldn't even be on right now.
No, we should. We should. Hey, I read something about you, man. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm very excited to talk to you about this. You were a rapper in college.
Well, high school, yeah, and college, I guess. When I was in Canada, a Canadian rapper. So that's there's not. We're rare. There's Drake and us.
Oh yeah. Is there any video of this, Tom?
Yeah, there's video on YouTube of it. I used to do. We put out an album when I was in high school. It was fun, but. Yeah, my rapping days are sort of behind me. But when I do stand-up comedy, I'm kind of rapping. It just doesn't rhyme. But I'm talking very quickly. I'm on stage with a microphone, and it's sort of an aggressive comedy show. So it's kind of it's fast. I talk fast, so it's kind of rapping.
It's almost like a battle. Did you ever do any of those battle rapping things? Did you ever do that?
Well, not really. I mean, there's some people have watched this video on YouTube where Exhibit and I are rapping on my old web show, and they called it a battle, but we were just kind of rapping together.
All right, you ready? You ready for my instant off-the-cuff rap with Tom Green? Are you ready? Here we go. We're talking with the mean Tom Green, the funniest comic that you ever seen. You can see him tonight at Parlor Live.
Yeah,
that's the truth. That ain't no jive.
Bonaducci. Are you expecting Tom Green to retaliate?
No, that's better. That's better than I could do. Hey, man, I'm excited to be here in Seattle. I just had a great week. I was just at the SNL 40th party, which was amazing.
What? Okay, you were there and live and in charge at that thing. How was that?
That was incredible. I mean, it was just sort of a surreal thing to be there with the amount of, just being there watching that show, all the history that is there in that show. I grew up such a huge fan of that show. I had the sort of, the honor of hosting it in the year 2000, and was invited to the show just because all the hosts and cast members were invited. So hanging out, got to catch up with a lot of old friends, but just sort of being there in the room and looking around was very surreal. When you would, right when the show ended, everybody walked down to the stage, and you were standing on the stage, and you just look around, and 1 foot away from you was Jack Nicholson. Then there was Paul McCartney chatting it up with Keith Richards, just having a casual conversation. And you're just sitting there going, "There's Eddie Murphy there." It was bizarre.
Well, you've had some spectacular ups in your career. You've been such a meteoric rise. I don't think that many people know that it wasn't really all that meteoric, was it? You worked to become famous and become a well-known comic for years before you popped on the national screen, right?
Yeah, well, I did a public access TV show. I went to school for broadcasting, but it was all in Canada, so I was doing stuff in Canada for 10 years or something before the show got picked up by MTV. But yeah, that was the big break for sure when MTV picked up the show. It really kind of pushed out the crazy videos and the pranks and stuff that I was doing back in those early days of video reality TV, and sort of pumped it out around the world. And now I'm basically touring around the world doing stand-up, and I'm actually relaunching this new studio in Los Angeles, which is going to be really fun. You'll be able to watch all these shows that we're going to do.
Cool. And that's, by the way, tonight and tomorrow night. I want to remind everybody you can see Tom Green, and it's a fun thing to do. I've seen Tom Green. It's a fun thing to do. Just go to parlorlive.com. Now, I've said Tom Green. I have bandied the word talent about with this young man. You know what I like about you? Didn't you? Well, I know you won a Razzie for like the worst movie ever for, what was it, Freddy Got Fingered?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest with you, that movie has got this amazing following.
Oh, yeah.
People really love that movie. So, you kind of got to take the Razzie Awards with a grain of salt. I mean, I think they kind of are sort of, they like to be negative and throw out negative words. But a lot of people love that movie.
Including
that's
Gibbons.
Kind of one of the things that's really fun about touring around doing stand-up is that you have a lot of people who come out and know every line that Freddie got fingered.
Oh, no, I knew it had the cult following. The thing I said when I started this that I want to commend you on, aren't you the first star of a movie that won the Razzie to show up and accept it?
Yeah, well, I actually think that I actually think that it was sort of it was supposed to be crazy, the movie. We were trying to smash the conventional way of making a movie, so it obviously was designed to confuse people. So I took it as a deserved award, and when I showed up in a beat up 1950s limousine and rolled out my own crappy red carpet and showed up in a goofy tuxedo, and I really took pride in accepting the award. So
well, it's funny.
It was a lot of fun.
When you said talking about it's got a cult following and things like that, we have a young man who works on the show. His name's Gibbons, and he's out of control in his little studio, waving his arms. Are you trying to talk to Tom Green? Is that what's happening?
Tom Green is one of my heroes, and I would just like to first of all thank you, Tom, because every day I check myself for cancer, and I do not have testicular cancer to this day because of Tom Green and the song that he wrote.
That's serious. That's
I
good.
know.
Oh, that's really good.
Now, Tom's...
I actually prevented you from getting cancer.
Yes, you did.
Yes, and I thank you again. I really appreciate it.
And plus, he gets to feel his nards, and he really enjoys that, and he thanks you.
Now, Tom, you have classic bits. My favorite bit of yours is the Slutmobile, where you painted your parents' car and then chased your dad when he tried to take the bus to work. What's your favorite one of your bits you've done?
That was ridiculous. I mean, that was, again, that was before people were really barging into their parents' bedrooms and filming videos. So, we kind of came up with that idea in 1995 and shot it up in Canada, and then it ended up airing on MTV later. But it was a lot of fun. I think my dad and mother were really caught off guard, obviously. And they've forgiven me, though. We did a lot of pranks up to them, and now they are retired from being pranked, and we've got a good relationship and everything.
Thank you very much to Gibbons, first of all, for loving you, which I think is just sweet of him, and the testicular cancer thing, which is very, very important.
It's no joke. He idolizes Tom Green.
I know that he does. Having said that, do you think you're getting ripped off? I didn't remember all this stuff till just right now. There's a guy on it's supposed to be a news channel, and instead it's Jack Vale offline, and he does these stupid sophomoric pranks that I think were funny 15 years ago when you did it. Do you think people owe you, like, some sort of kudos?
No. I mean, I was essentially just, really excited to be messing around with a video camera. It was, I was inspired by Candid Camera, which was a prank show.
Right, sure, okay.
When we did our show in the 90s, we were doing it a lot differently than people are doing it even now. It was very guerrilla. We were using tiny little video cameras. It was supposed to look raw and edgy and homemade. And that's sort of, timing is part of that as well. We were just doing it because, those were the years where video cameras became widely available and editing became available to consumers, and we sort of took advantage of that.
I just realized that Tom Green had to burst into his father's bed with a 75-pound camera and a boombox for sound. Hey, Tom, I have a ton more questions, but we do have to go. Plus, Gibbons wants to worship you more. Please come back, okay?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, come on down to the show. I'd love to see you, and thanks for letting people know about the shows at Parlor Live tonight.
No problem.
Tomorrow.
Tonight and tomorrow, Tom Green at the Parlor Live, and you can get all the info that you need at parlorlive.com. See you, Tom Green.
Bye. Tom.
Sing along with us,